Welcome. I'm happiness coach Teresa Greco, and this is the Steps to Happiness show. Here, my guests and I talk about the steps you can take towards a happier, more fulfilled, authentic life. Hello, and welcome to the Steps to Happiness show on 105.9 The Region. I'm your host, Teresa Greco, happiness coach, author, editor, writer, educator, and Reiki master. Are you ready to follow your joy and tap into your inner happiness? Then the Steps to Happiness show is for you. On my show, my guests and I explore the latest physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being practices that can help lead you back to the happiness that's within you. Today's show is being brought to you by Hotel V. Hotel V, the future epicenter for a luxury stay for business or pleasure, entertainment, and ambiance in the GTA. Your V is here. Check out their website at hotelv.com. The happiness principle for today's show is about turning stress and insecurity into hope and happiness. Let me ask you, in a time with so much uncertainty, how do you remain calm and not react to the turbulent situations that seem to arise in the world every day? How do you avoid the fight or flight response in the body when particular circumstances could cause you to feel anxious? When it seems that outside forces are blocking your path, do you give up and think, I just don't have what it takes to succeed? Whether at work, in your relationships, or even with everyday problems, what is your typical reaction to adverse situations? Do you immediately move towards feelings of, why me? Or do you pause and think, what is my life trying to teach me at this moment? How you respond to difficult things that have happened to you or are happening around you can mean the difference between a life of anger, anxiety, depression, and despair, or a life of joy, peace, tranquility, and hope. Especially in uncertain times, forces out there feel beyond our control, and fear can hold us back. Ultimately, it is not the unpredictable political or personal circumstances outside of us that determine whether we respond with fear or peace and hope. Instead, one must accept the reality that external events are not under our control. The only thing we can control is our response to those events. One's perspective of change and the uncertainty that comes with it will determine whether they see it positively or negatively. Our happiness and peace depend on how we choose to relate to uncertainty, which is just life's constant stream of new events and challenges. Rather than approach uncertainty with fear, worry, and pessimism, try switching your mindset instead to embrace the new possibilities that can arise by having a flexible response to change, understanding that change is inevitable and a natural part of all life. Find solutions when problems and obstacles block the way. Practicing mindfulness can assist in allowing that important discovery, realization, or insight to come to you. Take time to participate in activities that you know make you feel calm and at peace, like being out in nature or hanging out with uplifting and positive people. Exercise is a surefire way to get your happy endorphins released into the body, helping you to release stress, ward off anxiety and depression, and improve your sleep. Lastly, listening to music, getting creative like painting or writing poetry, or reading books can be the escape you need to reconnect with the happy place inside yourself. Choosing these positive responses does not depend on having specific attributes, good luck, or even an open schedule. They are awareness skills that with consistent practice are realistic for you to develop until they become part of who you are and how you live your life. With that being said, I'd like to welcome my first guests to the show. Best friends of over 40 years, hairstylists and the founders of Chatter, Nadia D'Arcangelo and Sabrina Iaboni. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We're so excited.
So why don't we start off by you telling us a little bit about your Instagram page, Chatter.
Okay, thank you. Yes, so we wanted to create a space where people can connect with us, where we can create happiness, spread love, and of course, laughter. We just wanted some content where people can just watch and just forget about the problems. That's all.
And when did When did you start the page?
Oh my goodness, we started the page July 18th of last year, and it was during the middle of the pandemic.
And so what was your motivation then behind starting it?
Okay, so our motivation was basically I was suffering from a very bad, deep depression. And I thought to myself, as soon as I pull out of this, I knew I was going to pull out of it, but I said, there's got to be something positive that comes out of what I've just been through. And I said, I need to push myself to do things that I'm afraid to do. And that's how Chair Chatter came to be. It was born, I think, the day that I conjured this up in my head. And I figured, who better to do this with than my best friend?
And she didn't ask me, by the way. It was on social media that she posted that I was going to be joining her on this ride. And
I'm so happy you did, right?
yeah, I'm very happy. It's been awesome.
So share a little bit about the content that you have on the page.
Well, honestly, nothing's really rehearsed. We just talk about whatever we want on our stories, whatever comes to our mind, whatever we're feeling. We'll mention things that are happening in the world, but sometimes we just talk about old times because I think people love talking about things that we felt the happiest.
Yes.
And we try to be funny, of course. A lot of our content is funny, but we want to show some realism. So we do post a lot of things that we've been through that are hard, just to show people that we are real and that they can connect with us. And we know that they're going through the same things.
For sure.
And Nadia, why was there some fear associated with beginning the page exactly?
I think it's just because I had a fear of going for things. I was always scared to face my fears. That was my biggest thing. Facing my fears and going for what I wanted to do. And this was just one of those things that I said, that's it. This is my opportunity, take it or leave it. And I just went for it.
And you roped in your friend in the process.
I'm so glad I did because she's been such a motivation. She's been such a good support. And who else better to do it with than someone so close to you that's sort of like a sister.
And she brings out some fear out of me because I don't think I would have done this on my own, to be honest with you. Sometimes you fear not to be good enough or not to have the good ideas, but she brings that out of me. So she pushes me. So
thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. That's why you've been friends for 40 years. So cute.
Yeah.
Yes. She's not sick of me yet.
Not yet.
And so if you needed to give advice to people who might need to overcome their own fears, what could you say to them to perhaps, to step out of that and to try new things and maybe to go for things that they haven't, they've wanted to try, or goals or aspirations they might have, but fear is holding them back from doing that? What kind of advice might you give them?
Honestly, I think we're true believers that you need to talk. And I think that's part of the reason why we wanted to do this, because we wanted a place where people can actually talk to us, share their fears with us. And honestly, that's why we also posted a few of our struggles and fears, just to show people that we're real and that we can connect with them. But I really do think that you need to talk. It's number one way to get over fears.
So important. I think that also it allows people to understand that even though we're happy and laughing all the time, we also go through so many struggles on a daily basis. And we just want to let people know that what we're dealing with is authentic, just like it is for everyone else. And people connect to that. And it just creates this relationship between viewer and host. And wow, we've made so many connections and so many friendships. It's been a blessing to both of us.
Yeah.
And so Nadia, if you had to now look back and speak to yourself last year and everything that you've accomplished with your page and all the amazing things that come out of it, what would you say to yourself about how you were feeling at the time and how you were able to overcome the fear? What would you say to yourself?
Girlfriend, good things are coming. Good things are coming.
Go for it.
We just spoke about this a few minutes ago, and I looked at Sab and I said, I cannot believe that it's been 11 months exactly to the date almost. And I said to Sab, can you believe all of the opportunities and all of the friendships that we've made in 11 months of this silly little concept that I conjured up in my head? And if I wouldn't have had the strength to just go for it, we would have missed out on all these beautiful opportunities.
Yeah.
So I really, 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 I hope whoever's listening to this, find the happiness inside and really push forward and do all the things that you want to do, because the sky is the limit. I know it sounds so cliche, but it really, really is.
Sometimes you just need to get out of your head and go for it.
You do. Yeah.
And it's lovely that you had each other for that support, right?
Yeah.
That you weren't, not doing it on your own. And that could be a step, right? That somebody could take, is to look for like a partner or somebody that they can pursue whatever it is that, you know, they want to go ahead and do, but fear is holding them back from doing that, is to have that support, someone to lean on and to encourage them to, you know, that even when it might seem difficult, but, you know, let's just kind of put our heels into it and do it.
What you said just resonated with something. There are a lot of people out there that maybe don't have a best friend to lean on, or don't have a partner. They don't have anyone. Sab and I want to be those people that they can turn to and say, hey ladies, I'm not feeling well today. You know, do you have any advice? Can you guys just make me laugh? Can you just listen and listen to me for a few minutes?
And the best part is people have come to us.
Yes.
And they tell us all the time that they feel so connected with us, that they feel like we're their friends. So for me, that shows me that we're doing something right and we are making a difference in people's lives, even if it's just 1, 2. But I really do feel like people are connecting with us and they feel our friendship.
Yeah, it makes our hearts feel full. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And so since your page, you know, yes, does have that realism to it, but a lot of it has to do with like quirky, funny content that you're putting out. So what would you say about a laughter and how it contributes to happiness?
Oh yeah. Laughter's so contagious, isn't it?
What better feeling is there to laugh? I love that stomach feeling of laughter. It's the best feeling. And it makes you escape, even if it's just for a moment. I feel like when I'm laughing, I'm not thinking about anything else but the feeling that I'm getting.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Laughter is a beautiful thing. And we just want to share it with everyone. And as we said many times, nothing that we do is scripted. It's just me and Sab being as real as possible. And people always say, you guys are so funny. We try not to be sometimes, but it just comes out that way. And if we can make people laugh, then that's great.
And I think really the beauty of your friendship and your relationship really comes through in your videos. So I really encourage people to go and check out Chair Chatter on Instagram and to really get an idea of the content that we're talking about here. And it is, you know, some of the blooper videos that you have too, which is just...
They ask us for bloopers all the time.
Sometimes we have none.
Yeah, sometimes it's just, we just put out the bloopers on purpose just to laugh. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
So if people wanted to connect with you after the show, how can they do that?
We're basically all across social media, Facebook and TikTok and IG. If you just search up Chair Chatter, they will find us. We're all there. And also on our website, which is launching on Monday. So we're really excited about that as well.
Oh, wonderful. What's the website for that?
It's www.chairchatter.ca. And we have some really exciting things that are going to be popping up on Monday, some new things, and we're really excited about it. So if you get a chance, take a look at it.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. And I really love stories like this that, you know, out of the pandemic, when I feel so plagued by all the awful thing and negative things that are happening, that there are these positive stories that are coming out of this time, and how, you know, initially the pandemic hit us hard, all of us really hard. And Nadia, you know, you really hard in your depression, but then, you know, slowly over time, we were able to really pick ourselves up off the floor and to still do amazing things. And even, you know, I can attest that this past year has been an amazing year of such growth and such possibilities. And lots of beautiful things coming out of it. And so your story, I really wanted to showcase that because it is one of those lovely things that have come out over this past year. So thank you so much for being on the show and sharing your story with us.
Thank you for having us.
I'm in tears now. That was so beautiful. Thank you so much.
Because we couldn't agree with you more. Out of everything, there's always positive, and this is one major positive thing that came out of the pandemic for Nadia and I, and hopefully for all of our followers. So
thank you so much, Teresa. It means so much to have been asked to be on the show.
And so I think you also wanted to offer one lucky listener some of your swag, which is so cute, so pretty.
Thank you so much. Yes, this is part of what we're launching on our website on Monday. We have some cute little apparel that people have asked us for. We didn't even want to go there.
That's why we're doing it.
Yeah, it's
t-shirts, mugs.
Yeah, so we're going to give a t-shirt and a mug with the Chair Chatter logo on them. And so hopefully one lucky winner will be happy to accept it.
Yeah, and check out their Instagram page at Chair Chatter to take a look at this logo. It looks amazing. You definitely want to look at that or take advantage of that swag on their website. Thank you again for being on the show and sharing how you were able to overcome your fears in face of adversity and come out laughing.
We're going to try and keep laughing as much as we can. Thank you so much, Teresa. Thank you, 105.9. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for all your great work.
Thank you so much.
Stay tuned, as after the break, I'll be speaking with Carlo Parentella, who'll be sharing more about mindset and facing adversity. We'll continue here on 105.9 The Region, and you're listening to the Steps to Happiness show with Teresa Greco. Are you ready, Carlo?
I am ready.
Okay. Welcome back to the Steps to Happiness show with Teresa Greco. I'm excited to introduce my next guest. He is the CEO of Chateau Le Jardin event venue, Hotel V, Apres Noir concert and dinner series, Amo Taco Bar'n Grill, and the new upcoming Verde Juice Cafe. Carlo Parentella, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Teresa. Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
And so I wanted to really kind of start off and dive right in with the question that as an owner of an event center and entrepreneur during difficult times like these, when restaurants, events, and weddings have all come to a standstill, how do you face difficult situations like what you've had to face over the past year?
Well, we've put some groups together. So like-minded businesses have gone together and we've created group chats. We have 100 banquet halls on one and 80 on another. And we sort of discuss things and sort of, we have a banquet hall event venue support group, which is odd. So we started to work with associations, see if we could work together and support each other in that way. A lot of times we discuss the programs and what the government is doing and how we are handling clients and things like that. So we're really trying to support each other like that. And of course, on your own, you have to just sort of know that everything's happening for a good reason and just go forward and you know, take the time off to reassess the business and yourself and go forward. There's no other way.
And so when you're facing challenging situations, you know, both professionally and personally, how do you remain positive during times like this?
I, for one, have always been positive. I always think everything happens for a good reason. So I, for one, and I try to instill that in everyone else, I see it as a time of new directions, new challenges. When the 1930s were there and during the Depression, many people, you know, excelled and they were able to make money out of a junkyard economy, and that's sort of what you know, we seem to have to do because hospitality has become a junkyard economy as opposed to all the other industries, right? So we move forward.
And so with this positive attitude that you have, or that understanding that with adversity, that good things can come out of it, that when you say everything happens for a reason, what do you think have been like what are some of those good things that can come out of it, and what more specifically for you has been some of those good things?
Specifically for me, I've decided to open up a juice cafe as we're working on our hotel side of things. In there, we have this specialty Marché Cafe Bistro and juice bar. And so we thought, why don't we create a sort of COVID-proof type business? And we created this Verde Juice Cafe in mobile containers, which will have, besides being juices and creating our own roasted coffees, we're also going to be selling some sauces, gravies, and dressings. Everyone knows how to put a roast beef in the oven. Not everyone wants supermarket gravy, nor do they want to make one of their own. So we say, okay, every Friday we'll make a gravy. Every Wednesday we'll make a pesto. Things that are dear to my heart. They're things that I want, I cannot find. So people, yes, fresh juices, but what about fresh gravies made, and fresh mayo, and fresh pesto, and fresh sauce? Have your mom, because my mom is making things for me, so why don't we get mom to make for everyone? So we're working on franchising and creating these wonderful, fresh juice cafes, coffee with our Mennonite organic milk, and juice and gravy salads and dressings for everyone. So that's what came out of our pandemic thing. And we were able to refine the hotel, thinking about adversities that may happen in the future, so create it in a way. And also with the event venue, we re-looked at many things and the way people are thinking in size and sheer numbers of events, and how they'll sort of work in a sociological aspect inside the event venue. Will they hug? Will they kiss? Are they going to interact? So we've had to look at all that.
Yeah, and it's amazing when when the world stops and things stand still, that we have an opportunity to step back and just really evaluate a whole bunch of things that we weren't before, because a lot of us live our lives in autopilot, and we're just on the go and going from here to that appointment, and every day just kind of runs into the next, where then you look back at the last 10 years and you're like, oh, no, it looks like it's been the same. And that when there's a pause like this, that it does give us an opportunity to step back and evaluate a whole bunch of different things in our lives, and for you, not only in your life, but in your business as well. And so I wanted to also just kind of pick your brain around your opinion around change, in the sense that I view change as a very positive thing and a natural part of life, and that change doesn't fear me at all. It actually fuels me, and where I get bored very easily, and then I'm on to like the next new thing, because I really love what comes with change. And so but there are people out there that, on the other hand, on reverse, the fear holds them back, and that doubt and worry in some cases can be very paralyzing for people, and it doesn't energize them like it does for me, and I think it does for you as well. And so if you could maybe just speak to your opinion about change.
Oh, I love change. Love change is like travel. And that's exactly what a lot of people are scared of travel, and change is a change of destination and mindset. And I just want to actually talk about one thing about change, what's happened to a lot of the CEOs and everyone, how we've gone down notches, and all of a sudden we become dishwashers. We're throwing out the garbage because we don't have staff. And what's good about that, what's amazing about that, is that we're able to look at each of our departments and say, oh, I didn't know that was like that. Because when you're looking from 40,000 feet, you're not seeing that. So many of us, and I'm seeing from the largest hotels and event venues, that we're all gone down and we're doing the sales ourselves. We're doing some of the accounting. We're throwing out the garbage. We're looking at the cleanup. We're checking so many different things, and it's amazing. So that change is great, because it's created. We know our base, what it is, and so we're building back up again. So so it's good. Like some of those shows where they say the boss works and does undercover boss or something like that. So that we're sort of like doing that, not undercover, of course, but and then so the change is good for that, and that we're able to re-strengthen our base and our business model. And change is, I know people fear change, and Because they're scared and they don't want to, I don't know what it is, whether it is, whether they just don't want to think about it and have to get into a certain route. But change is wonderful and people should honestly embrace it, because every second is a change. Every second the earth is traveling and the time has changed. So you're changing already. We're not discussing what we discussed a minute ago right now. It's everything's a change. When you're at work, everything's a change. In your life, everything's a change. And the grass is growing is a change. You're coming home, everything. So they should embrace it and love it. And once they understand that everything is changing anyway, and just hop on that train.
And so how would you say that you allow your emotions to navigate through your life?
Well, I
Because
try
from
to
what,
think of, I believe in life eternal, of course, and I think we're just having our game here, and we're beings because we're here to achieve a wonderful emotions, and so when every emotion, good or bad, is received, whether it's a good cry at a movie or in a relationship or anything, and it's a good laugh and a good joke with friends and a good comedy movie you're watching, they're both this flip side of the same coin. They're just emotions, and the emotions are wonderful. So if something bad happens, perceptibly bad, not really bad, but if I'm perceiving that it's something bad and you get upset and stuff, you should be glad you've got that emotion. You've just received some free emotions, and that's what we're here for. Because when you're a super being, there's no such thing as emotions, because you can't get hurt, you can't live, you can't grow, things don't change. So when you're here, you're loving this emotion. So I accept all emotions. So that's how I bear it.
no, and I love what you said, that we're here to experience a variety of emotions, that really on the other side it's just unconditional love, and part of the
Mhm.
earthly experience on a soul or a spirit level is to be able to feel a range of emotions and flux and change in life, and
Mhm.
across the globe provides those opportunities for us to feel those different emotions. So it's wonderful to also hear that you embrace those and allow yourself to feel them when the occasion happens. And so my
Mm.
last question then, since you're so busy, like I said, entrepreneur, event center, all the different things that you're a part of, what are some of the ways that you practice self-love and self-care to ensure that you can handle anything that comes your way at any time?
Well, I thank God I learned about meditation when I was 17, 18 years old. And I've carried that through, and I've self-love is actually love for everything and everything around you, and understanding that everything has consciousness. So self-love is an absorption of everything around you. So it's not just the love of yourself, but the love of something you're connected to. And all in even inanimate objects have consciousness, everything has consciousness. So just to be happy that of what you have, and that's what I think a lot of people need to understand. And a lot of people do not count their blessings; they count what they're missing. And once they start doing that, then you're like, oh, I am loved. That's the self love, you know. So
I
that's what I
agree. I
feel.
agree. Now, I know for self-care, a lot of people used to travel before,
Mm.
and that hasn't been. And I think you're also someone who really likes to travel. Are there other ways that you've still been able to kind of maintain some of that, like tranquility that maybe your travel used to provide you with?
Yes, definitely. Just travel in your local. We have no choice. So obviously, most people are visiting the outskirts of the city and visiting that, and your local neighborhood, and hop on a canoe and or things like that, and walk and just sort of know your local area. So what's happening with the CEOs downgrading? It's also yourself personally. You're absorbing what's around you, which you've never seen before. Hop in a car and bypass everything. So now you stop, you look, and wow, I didn't know about those flowers. I didn't know about that. I didn't know. So it's really wonderful to learn about yourself in that way and self care yourself in with your neighborhood.
Yes, I agree.
Mhm.
I can attest that I've reawoken to a lot of the beauties in my neighborhood to do with like nature and
Mhm.
some artwork that's out and what people are doing, just upkeeping with their homes, and things just
Yes.
overall seem to be
Yeah.
more
Yes.
beautiful, more beautiful than ever.
Yeah. 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 In other words, this pandemic was a blessing.
Yes, yes,
I
yes, yes.
totally see that,
Me too.
so
Me too. Carlo,
amazing.
how can people connect with you after the show?
They can email me at carlo@carlo.ca. Very simple email.
Okay, perfect. So thank you so much for being on the show today and sharing your mindset about embracing change and the importance of being in the flow and really with
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
life throws your way.
Definitely. The art of flow is everything. Follow what you're being told. Amazing.
Thank,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Take care.
Today's show was being brought to you by Hotel V. Hotel V, the future epicenter for a luxury stay for business or pleasure, entertainment, and ambiance in the GTA. Your V is here. Check out their website at hotelv.com. Today's show was about turning stress and insecurity into hope and happiness. One's perspective of change and the uncertainty that comes with it will determine whether they go with the flow of the universe or whether they resist it. Becoming a source of hope, strength, and optimism can help you to embrace uncertainty. Having hope enables us to place our trust in the belief that with great change comes new possibilities and opportunities. As Winston Churchill once said, a pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity. An optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty. There is always something valuable that can be derived out of difficulty and adversity. By changing our mindset and staying connected to our spirit, we can remain untouched by fear by placing trust in our true self at every moment to remain grounded in hope, peace, and happiness. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to being with you next Saturday for the final episode of Season 1 of the Steps to Happiness show with Teresa Greco.
Interested in happiness and spiritual coaching and workshops? Go to teresagreco.ca. Email stepstotruehappiness@gmail.com. Follow on Instagram, Teresa Greco _steps to happiness, or on Facebook at Steps to True Happiness with Teresa Greco. This is the Steps to Happiness show on 105.9 The Region.